Won't you slide, slide, sugar on the slide? Whoa, I gotta stash every time you want some. That's right, baby. Won't you slide, sugar on the side? Whoa, I gotta stash every time you want some. That's right, baby. Won't you slide, slide?
What's up, everybody? This is Huni.B, formerly Elle Green, formerly Elle G, with my second podcast, talking about Fresh and Fit. So I don't know if you guys know them. Makes me know, never mind if you do or you don't. But recently, some of the things had come up about them and their preferences. So I wanted to get into that and talk about it. So first, make sure that you're following my Linktree. Like I said, it's linktree/LGZ25 because I'm formerly Elle G. You can also find it at Huni.B, and that's where you can find me on Instagram. You can find all my links, all my things, and you can come do the damn thing with the thing on the thing. Okay, so to the video. My last video was about are Black women less submissive? This kind of goes with that because this is part of that same kind of culture. So Fresh and Fit. So this one over here being Fresh and this one over here being Myron. They have a podcast together called Fresh and Fit. So they do a lot of self-improvement, right? I guess for men. And while also doing that in fitness and so on and so forth, they were on a podcast. They made a comment about let me do the story right. Okay, so they have their own podcast. Fresh knows Asian Doll. She was supposed to come on the show and be a guest. She came by 2 hours late. I guess they were upset. She sat down. Myron was telling one of the girls that he claims had been having side conversations the whole show to be quiet and all this stuff. And Asian Doll defends her and says, "You're mean." He gets really offended about that and says, "How are you going to say I'm mean if you just got here?" They got in an argument, basically. She walks out a little bit later, and then the clip surfaces on Shade Room, and Asian Doll says, "Oh, I was defending a Black woman. They were doing her dirty." So then it turns into a race thing. Then this clip apparently resurfaces of a year ago. I thought it had to be like at least a couple of years, but I guess this is old. It sounds like dudes everywhere. Like, that's old stuff. It just happened. But, clip resurfaced of them talking about dating apps. They were talking about the dating app Black. They were saying that they don't dabble in the dark, so on and so forth. And then we get to that. So they actually, Fresh, actually, a clip that hasn't really, I guess, gotten as popular as the other ones. He actually was talking to a Black girl, and he said most Black girls are annoying and they're ratchet and they don't have any goals or aspirations. And it's very loosely quoted, but he actually has said Black women specifically and said those negative traits. But now they like to backtrack a lot and say, "Oh, we were just saying that's our preference. That's our preference." Like, you know. So they were on Flagrant 2 with Andrew Scholes and Akash Singh, and kind of got a little bit of, you know, a talking to. And they also got a talking to by DJ Academics, which I want to show too, because this is the benefit of you being such a loud hypocrite. Not about the race preference, because I'm sure that would be the only thing you stick to, but about the way that you live your life, which they obviously, you know, backpedaled on the whole time as well. Just to start this first one. This is Flagrant 2. Be sure to follow Flagrant 2. Be sure to follow Fresh and Fit. And also be sure to follow DJ Academics, King Academics. And make sure you follow me too. All right.
Defend a Black girl, Cap. It wasn't that. You just look dumb and you didn't want to look dumb. So you just said defend a Black girl. Boom. Then someone resurfaces this Twitter thing. Mind you, we had already went viral because of the people that are inherently racist. It is what it is. And the only thing I can control is my emotions to it. So I don't get mad about what people say because that's just the way things are. The world doesn't owe me understanding. So all I can do is control.
Real quick. You know what's weird is like, so the word racist keeps getting thrown out. Like I never saw it as racist because I don't know. I didn't believe that you guys wouldn't date a beautiful black woman.
Yeah, we have in the past for sure.
Yeah, like I just didn't believe that. And again, you guys can correct me, but like for me, the word like preference is so weird because I think our preferences are really like mechanisms that we use to find like emotional security. You know, like if a person's like super quiet, like if I'm like this quiet, like shy dude, my preference is probably an aggressive girl because she allows me to be in my safe place.
Right.
I don't have to go like out of my way to go get her. And I'll probably prefer that girl, but it's not based on like this chemistry thing. It's really based on like what allows me to feel like emotionally secure. Right. And like, let's say I'm a controlling ass dude. I probably want a girl that is a little bit more like in need of guidance submissive because then I get to feel my safe place, which is controlling.
Right.
So like, I feel like if a girl, and again, I can't speak for y'all, but I feel like if a girl gave you that emotional security, regardless of what race they were, you guys would date them, no? I can't feel like just because they're black, you would say no.
Yeah, here's the thing about the clip. Like I said, it's context. It's us having a good time. It's us making jokes. We make fun of everyone. It's just that they don't clip all the other segments of us making jokes on everyone else. They want to clip that one section at 20, 30 seconds, say that, you know, try to paint a narrative. You guys are racist, and because you guys are racist, this is why you kicked Asian doll off your show. And
I don't think racist. I never saw racist. The racist, yeah. I don't.
But I'm just saying what they were trying to paint us as.
And you guys, I know people who know you that say you're good guys, stand-up guys, so I don't have a problem with you as people. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have you on this podcast, and then, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, sure, we can have a discussion
or whatever. But I'm
curious. This isn't a gotcha thing.
Racist to
I'm
me.
literally curious to have the conversation.
Well, it does bother me that I think it's not racist, it's self-loathing, which to me, I don't particularly give a fuck how any other race looks at us. I give a fuck how we look at ourselves. So if I saw an Indian saying some shit like that, that would bother me more. Andrew told me he doesn't like Indian girls all the time. That's great. Don't date him. That's good for me. But when an Indian says that shit, right? Then it's like, yo,
I do that because you say you don't like white women.
I know. And
but if you keep this up, I'm going to divorce my wife and fuck a lot of Indian chicks.
Isn't that refreshing from a minority though? You look at the rest of the record. Yeah. But I have a problem with somebody that I feel is self-loathing, and I'm not going to be as offended because you're not from where I'm from. But if I was black and I was Alex, I'd be like, yo, that shit is more than racist, is self-loathing, and that bothers me.
What do you guys say about that? Like, do you guys? So let's remove.
So. If you want to hear, like I said, I watched the full podcast. If you want to hear more about how they feel on it, you could definitely finish it. I feel like this video for me, thank God, is going to be very short because Akash hit the nail right on the head. Seems self-loathing. I've seen this a couple of times. So when it comes to preferences, I'll make this a very short idea on this because it doesn't matter. When it comes to preferences, I rarely ever hear other races down their own people. They say everybody's allowed to have their preference. Everybody's allowed to have their preference. It's one thing to have a preference, but at one point, Andrew Scholes was like, I thought that when we were talking about preferences, you were talking about what you do like, not what you don't like. Not what you want, not what you don't want. So if somebody asks you your preference, you don't have to say, well, I don't date black guys. Because you didn't ask me that. That was not the question. So if they say, would you go on black dating? It'd be like, no, I wouldn't. It doesn't seem like it's for me. You gotta be like, I don't dabble in the dark, night riders. It is obviously very self-loathing. My opinion is I feel like Myron especially does not like himself. He gives off very, very, very insecure vibes. And Fresh does too. It's giving like, it doesn't really matter who you are because outside of the black women that they say that they don't talk to because they're annoying or don't dabble in the dark, then on top of that, every other woman is a gold digger. So there's not really like a lot of a market for these guys to date anyway. Is everybody's either a gold digger or everybody is, you know, a hoe, or everybody's this dominant woman, or they're black. So it's like, what does that leave you with? What does that give you what concepts, what relationships do you have to build with that? There's even a video Abba preached right here. They were talking about this dude who
people with ADHD
said that he doesn't like dating black women and doesn't date them because he doesn't want to have any black babies. Saying, I don't want to have any black babies. I know I'm ugly. I don't have any black kids. And then when he was talking about, he mentioned Amara La Negra talking about this and how in Spanish culture, lighting up your skin or having, being lighter is seen as a more like bettering your race. He was like, that's some clown shit. But you just said that. But he talks about continuously about how dark he is, how much he thinks he's ugly, and how because of how dark he sees himself as, he doesn't want any kids darker than him. AKA, I'm not going to be able to love that damn black baby. Like he's turning into, I feel like there are a lot of people turning into these exact type of people that are the people that made them feel as insecure as they are for whatever reason. Like, even Vlad TV, he had asked him, he was like, did anybody ever tell you? Like, did your mom? Guy said that his mom was like caramel mocha and his dad was darker than him. He was like, did your mom ever say she didn't want no dark grandkids? He was like, nope, that's just an idea me and my homies came up with. Like, that comes back with the submission. It feels like it's like if white men they make women submissive, and it feels like a competition. And so when you're checked by a white dude, like they're always backtracking. It's never like, look, that same energy, cracking jokes. I don't dabble in the dark. Ha 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 ha. Akash said it perfectly on the head. He was like, it's obviously self-loathing. Like, when you grow up around a certain people, you grew up in that culture. So how could you hate those people? How could you dislike those people? How could you have a preconceived notion about those people? It seems like it's a preconceived notion about how you see yourself. So I feel like they just
most of the time, most of the girls that I've dated,
right?
They always, when they're talking to people with the facts and that aren't going to let them slip, they start actually saying most of and some of and some of. But when they have the freedom of their show, they're like all girls. And okay, you can say most women, but like 99% of women. Like, and this is why I had said in my last podcast, this is why I had wrote down notes like a nerd, bro. Like I had links, I had everything. I was quoting my sources and shit. These dudes go on platforms and go on podcasts and say gibberish, sophomore vocabulary, like literally have nothing valid or interesting to add to the conversation, but will go ahead and make a full video and then have a bunch of people being like, that sounds true. That does not make it true. It does not make it true. Well, 99% of women are looking at you like you better have money. And that's why these guys feel like that. It's because both of them need to have money. They need it. Okay? Hey, you ain't getting shit from me. Or any other woman on this world thinking like that, talking like that, and looking like that. And this is not to shame them, but it's like they're both like very nerdy guys. And then the personalities are like, Myron obviously can articulate his thoughts a little bit better than Fresh. That would have been my thing, is like, get the sentence out. Oh my God, come on. Like, come on, hurry up. And Myron is just... he thinks he's smarter than you. He'll see you and he'll just be like, dumb, you're dumb. Like, they just both don't radiate. This is somebody that without a lot of money, I can spend a lot of bit of time with.
Didn't fit that parameter of...
So here's the thing. Like, my buddy right now who's trying to find a Jewish girl, right? He might be in this room. And he's trying so hard to find a Jewish girl. Yeah. And he just found Latin Jewish girls. Ooh. And he goes, oh my God, they got the whole Latin thing. and they're Jewish. And now all of a sudden the Latin thing is kind of like a preference, right? They're so sexy, they're so intimate, there's like this spicy real connection. Now, there's nothing wrong with you saying, I like the Latin thing, right? Now you're putting that affect on all Latin women, which is not necessarily the case, but you want a Latin girl who is Jewish, right? So is it possible to put a cultural affect on a race? Maybe when you guys were speaking about race, you were really speaking about a cultural thing. Because if you made a girl from Lagos, Nigeria, they might act completely different than a girl that you're meeting from South Florida, a girl that you meet from California, a black girl, etc. Like there's not going to be this monolith amongst black women, right?
I would say I would say like
both of y'all.
Where you're raised will determine how you act for the most part, right? So Caribbean girls are different from girls from the US versus like Nigeria. So it's culture, man, honestly.
Yeah.
What say you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm looking for certain traits first, and then obviously, you know, her race is irrelevant if she matches certain traits that I'm looking for in a woman.
Not what they said. Not what they said at all. So you can go ahead and watch the rest of the podcast. By the end of it, Andrew was like, I thought I might be able to change you, but no, it didn't work. So by the end of it, they were still feeling pretty confident what they were doing. When it comes to preference, this is my opinion. This is my personal do's and don'ts of having a preference. When having a preference, do state your preference. When stating your preference, don't state what's not your preference. You don't have to bring up black women at all. You don't like black women. Okay, leave it at that. But to find spaces where you can always try to dog out, criticize, generalize, and basically just have this preconceived notion of black people and take it with you, because wherever you were at, I've seen a few of Myron's pictures. He has a lot of white friends, so I'm not sure how many of his own people he actually knows and knew growing up. But I see this a lot, especially because I'm from Colorado. You can tell by the way that I talk that I'm from one of these little middle areas where there's no accent. So I'm from Colorado. There are some places where you'll be around a lot of minorities, and there are some places in Colorado, most places in Colorado, where you absolutely just will not. The downfall of when you're in those places, especially as minority, and you're just not around other people, is you start, the way that they see you, they start to nicely tell you that about yourself. So then it doesn't become like, oh shit, I'm being antagonized. It's like, this person's trying to help me and they're just letting me know I'm really not like the others. I'm really not like the others. So maybe this whole time, it really isn't like a race thing. You know, like it's like this whole mind game. And I feel like when you are at the disadvantage of not being exposed to multiple different types of people at any race that you are, you start to really have those implicit biases programmed into you. But then you also have the lack of accountability that comes with racism. I mean, we see it. So there's that. You can definitely have preferences. I don't care. Black women do not care. We don't. Some black women do. I'm still trying to be like, hey girl, let them go. Like, I don't care. I don't. Okay. But keep my name out your mouth. You don't have to say anything. Why are you trying to ruin game for me? You trying to sit here and ruin game. Now you're trying to tell the world I'm annoying and ghetto. Cock blocking. Stop it. Okay, so in this video, like I said, Fresh and Fit, they talk a lot about how gold digging women, all this stuff, and don't trust no woman and all this other stuff. And Fresh is actually dating a girl who makes TikToks about how men send her money. He must be one of them. But also went on here and was like, oh, well, she's different from the other girls. So any guys that may or may not be watching this, listen. This is like the same case of like when you get a girlfriend and your friend's like, dude, you're a simp. You're treating her right. You're a simp. Oh, you're treating her right. You're a simp. So then you start listening to them. You stop hanging out with her, stop keeping your promises, stop keeping your word or whatever, and then she breaks up with you, right? And then your friend gets a girlfriend. And you're like, hey, bro, remember what you told me? Like, bros before hoes. And he's like, nigga, shut up. I'm going to go cater to my woman. It was just jealousy. It was just jealousy. It was really just anger and or jealousy. He was angry because he didn't have anybody, so all women were hoes. He found somebody. Now there's exceptions. There's plenty of exceptions to the rule. When an exception is only supposed to be like one or two, not just every girl that you like is an exception. That's not an exception. That means it's not even a rule. That doesn't make any sense. It's the same thing. You were a simp because you were happy and he did not have access to all your time. And now that somebody has access to his time, he's going to simp out, and there's no such thing as simping because I love my girl. People will reverse it because I think what I'm seeing in a lot of these red pill or why don't women or why don't men and all this different stuff, somebody's hurt. Somebody's hurt. And as soon as that pain starts to heal, somehow or some way, opinions start changing. That's what I'm saying. Don't be so all or nothing. I tell people all the time, don't be so all or nothing. Don't be like, I never and never this, never say never, because somebody's going to hold you accountable for saying that. And then you're going to be sitting here feeling attacked. Nobody's attacking you. You attacked yourself. So DJ Academics went on to talk too fresh and be like, what the hell? And I'm glad somebody did.
And I would just like for you to remain on your pivot while instructing the many. We had a debate, right? Talking about relationships, vetting girls, and kind of like what girls want in guys. So, can you tell the audience what the debate is about today? Fresh, I love you, brother. but I feel like either you're walking into the path of becoming what I would say is a hypocrite, or you're just strictly delusional, something that you preach against. Mm-hmm. And I would just like for you to remain on your pivot while instructing the many. We got 4,000 people in here, while instructing them how to live their lives. Make sure you're very cognizant how you're living yours, or you could maybe just keep it real and just say, hey, you listen, follow what I say, but not what I do. Okay. Mm-hmm. I asked you a few simple questions and the answers were very alarming. Okay. I feel like if, the roles were reversed, and we have like a lot of beautiful women on the panel today, but mm-hmm. I watch you, and you guys know I watch your show religiously mm-hmm. when I'm not here. And the advice you give to men is very different than what you are following.
Okay. Explain to me where.
So I guess your girl is a fan now. Daily Harvey.
That shit kills me about YouTube. They don't want me to be successful. They don't want me. Look at all these beautiful black women real quick. That's just the one. All right. Well, look at me too. I'm on the screen. But I'm only playing the rest of this ad because she's black. But what is this? You're just going to play an ad in the middle of... I'm trying to educate. That's fake. That is messed up.
And again, mm-hmm. the only audience and jury will be the chat.
Yeah.
I believe if you were speaking about a woman who, is in her early 20s, who came to Miami, who met
23
high value men, like you would consider yourself.
He's like 31, I think.
Yeah, for this show, yeah.
Okay. If you would speak about that woman who met that guy on a multi-million-dollar yacht, mm-hmm. the first thing in the assumption wouldn't be she loves me or she likes me for me. Okay. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with actually liking a girl. By the way, I don't think you guys are preaching that at all. That would be, I'd be inside a little Nas X territory if you guys were. But that's not what you guys are doing. Yeah. What you guys are just saying that you want guys to be aware and also not to get finessed, right?
Yeah,
facts. It's about self-improvement, right? I've heard Myron say that a bunch of times.
As we do. Help guys get better.
I feel like your life right now might not be matching mm-hmm. what you preach. And it's okay because we all make mistakes. By the way, I've made mistakes too. And as brothers, because I've made mistakes, mm-hmm. I could try to help you as you're making your mistake now. Okay, listen, I always say, the smart man learns from his own mistake. The wise man learns from the mistake of others. Okay, right. I'm trying to have you at least be wise, not smart. And a dumb person never learns at all.
So, you think that I haven't made mistakes in my past at all?
No, I've heard the story. You were married before.
Yeah.
Right? It was just alarming that and by the way, I like your beautiful, what do y'all consider each other? By the way, Henny, that makes
We vibing right now. We're chilling. We vibing. So.
Beautiful. I like it. So y'all would be, y'all just talking right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you said something on like last show when I was on.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit alarming. You said that she was very different from every girl you meet in Miami, when I've heard you speak about every girl in Miami before. You generalize.
Yeah.
And I've also heard, this one of mine's like, Martin, you got some classic quotes, my brother. You know you're a legend, right?
Yeah, no, thank you, bro.
Listen.
You are too.
Hey, listen. You know what I mean? We're not talking about your anecdotal experience. We're talking about like the majority of the people, okay? We're not talking about like your exception. If you were to speak about the person who we are talking about in question, who's sitting next to you.
Yeah, right here.
You wouldn't necessarily be on the position you are now. You would actually say, hey, listen, she's with you because of what you're about, right? But you made the bold statement, which this is why I think your audience is probably looking at you like if you're a hypocrite.
Mm.
You met her on a yacht. In a very short time, you're like, I know for a fact she's with me for me. Explain.
Okay. So you made some claims there just now, right? That were kind of environment where things happen all the time and like follow like a certain pattern.
Can
that being said, hold on. That being said,
what does new to Miami mean though?
Huh?
What does new to Miami mean? Because she was born in Jersey. She's just out here for school, right? Is everybody here born in Miami?
I am.
You're born in Miami.
Yeah, born and raised.
You're born and raised?
Yeah.
Okay. But she's not. So if someone moves here, they're different.
I'm saying at the beginning, they're not kind of like tainted by the Miami lifestyle. Because Miami is very like, I want to say good and bad at the same time. Because like in the environment, it makes you turn a certain way. Either by the partying, the people you're around. And most girls that would have been good girls come to Miami, turn to the streets. Is what it is.
So they turn home.
That being said, if you meet a girl for the first time and she's in this environment and she's not a part of this whole cycle, you kind of got a chance because at the beginning, she only knows you. But she meets other players in the game where it's like, oh, like this is where I'm at. I can see all these guys. Then she's kind of thinking like, you know what? I got many options. Fuck this nigga. I'm gonna just do what I gotta do and get what I want. That being said, right? I invited her on the yacht.
That being said, I love it.
I invited her on the yacht, right? For a purpose to meet and talk to her.
So the first time you met her, you invited her on the yacht.
100%.
And you left the yacht by saying she fucks with me for me.
No. This is after a period of time where like I saw certain things. I saw what she's about, where she came from. I was like, okay, cool. Think about this, right? I've seen multiple chicks come to Miami all the time, get into a certain environment, and then they change completely. However, when they first come to Miami, they're not always into that environment where they make that change.
Okay.
So what happens is that girls come to Miami, right? They meet some friends, they go out, they meet promoters, they meet celebrities, and then they go for the streets.
And then she gone.
You're Myron. And then let me finish. Let me finish. So I've experienced.
I'm gonna eat him alive after
dating multiple girls. Some from Miami, some from outside of Miami, France, Germany, wherever, right? So I've seen the cycle here. Now, that being said, when I met her, I saw she hadn't been tainted yet. She hadn't been like in certain circles where like, you know what? Damn, she's gone through the streets. So I want to see where her head was at. And we meet on certain levels, we vibe. And regarding my vlog, she adds value to my vlogs. So you know what? I want to get to know her a little bit better. We're just vibing right now.
Okay.
So your whole argument of, oh, I'm going to be finessed by this chick.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I want to make certain claims. So I feel like you're a little bit exposing yourself.
How?
Because the way you talk about women, especially because you're in Miami, you just proved that saying that if she's here and she's new, those rules don't apply. You don't talk to just a Miami audience. You talk to an audience that's literally all around the world. So you're pretty much telling your audience, everything I tell you doesn't apply to y'all because you're not in Miami. I thought you were giving universal rules. That's
hold on.
Hold on.
We're talking about her.
I got you. No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about how you are saying she doesn't apply to many things that you would say about the normal girl.
No, it can't happen outside. I'm just saying that, like.
Second of all, I do want to ask a question. And by the way, the chat's going to be the jury.
Okay.
You said, number one, she was here for a short amount of time and she wasn't tainted, quote unquote. And you have done the checks and balances to make sure she's not going to be that. could you at least tell the jury how long you've known her?
1 month.
Okay.
All right. So that just goes to show, don't listen to your bros. They will switch up as soon as the right girl or opportunity comes about. That's what I learned from that. So basically, any of the girls that come on the show, if they were like, oh yeah, I know this guy, he is rich, he is a high value man, but I do only like him for him, like it's not because he's rich, they would call cap, they would play all kinds of sound effects, they'd be like, go digger, this and that. But because he wants her, he is willing to create, not because she is an exception, just create an exception for her. Meaning that all these people that he made believe a certain thing, don't date this kind of girl and this kind of girl and this kind of girl, he literally is not even taking his own advice. So a lot of these men, a lot of you men that may be, I heard a point from Abba and Preach, and they said that the red pill is important because we need to hear this perspective. And I truly believe that nothing can exist without its counterpart. So I think that the red pill perspective needs to exist so there can be people who come out and be like, hey, you know, man up or woman up or level up, either way. And I agree. But don't get lost in the sauce, because at the end of the day, hey, if you say I will never date a dude that is skinny, he has to be buff, and you meet the right guy, it might change. If you say I'll never date a woman that wants a high value man and A, B, C, and third, and you meet the right person, it may change. So that's why I think that we should be spending more time focusing on ourselves and not always, well, I don't like you because you're this and you're that. Because what it seems like in all this submissive talk and control talk and I don't date this and preference talk, that it seems like we are trying to point fingers at who's the worst race and who's the worst type of person. And instead of it being related to gender, sexual orientation, or race, it should definitely just be related to like each individual person. Because she could be a great person. She could actually really like him for him. But he set her up. He did. Not academics, not Myron. He set her up because he put himself in a position to where he was saying, and never do this and never do that, and every woman this and every woman that. And then he met somebody that he liked, even though she fit all those criterias, and he was not willing to keep his word in the end. So don't get lost in the sauce. Do not get lost in some of these opinions, not even mine. If your life changes course and you need to divert from anything that I'm saying, do it. I am never going to see you having independence as a bad thing, even though some people will. So I don't know. Niggas just be saying shit. That's basically what I took from it. So that's going to end this video on preference and Fresh and Fit and whatever else self-improvement they do. Make sure you follow Fresh and Fit. Make sure you follow Flagrant 2, and make sure you follow King Academics, and make sure you follow me. A couple other people that I want to make sure you follow is HeBeQueTV. He is a gamer, actor, a stuntman, does a little bit of everything. So I want to make sure that you guys go ahead and check out his page and his streaming. He's also somebody I really appreciate. So make sure you guys check him out, follow him, and give him a shout out and let him know that Huni.B sent you. The other person I want to bring attention to, a musical artist that I think is very talented, is Recklezz Truth and also Dizzy Dose. They make songs together, roll together. Recklezz Truth is amazingly talented, gritty, and very real in his approach and his performances. I performed a lot of shows with this man. I've smoked with him. Like, we've actually spent time, just like Cali. These are all local are local for me, Denver people that I feel like are really special. So you make sure that you check him out. Go ahead and subscribe to him. Check out his music. You check out his album, 7 Deadly Sins, that he released not too long ago, and his remix, Recklezz Truth and Dizzy Dose, Get the Pay G mix, no pen, no paper freestyle. Make sure you go ahead and follow HeBeQuet. And check out all the other people. This is my Twitch, so make sure you follow me on Twitch too. And we will keep in touch. Thank you for joining.